Thank you, Petra. The operator of our only oil refinery at Northland's Marsden Point wants to significantly expand so it can turn more oil into petrol and other fuels here rather than importing them. The Chief Executive of Refining New Zealand, Ken Rivers, is touring the country talking to shareholders, and he's with us now in our Wellington studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So this is a $365 million expansion. What is it actually going to do?
Well, what it's going to do is to make more of the petrol that New Zealand needs. Currently, we make about 50 to 55% of that, and this will increase that to about 65%. As well as doing that, we're going to significantly improve the energy efficiency of the refinery. Over 70% of the value flows from that. And that will improve our competitiveness and make sure that we continue to be New Zealand's supplier of choice.
Well, you mentioned competitiveness. How can you compete with the likes of the offshore refineries? How are you going to do it more efficiently and I guess more cost effectively than they do?
Well, we are probably New Zealand's best kept secret in the sense that we're a manufacturing jewel in the crown. Every 2 years we do comparisons against refineries right around the world, which show that we outperform the Australian refineries, and for refineries of our size across Asia Pacific, we punch well above our weight. And what that means is that we can produce petrol, diesel and jet fuel more cheaply, more reliably, and with a lower environmental footprint than you can bring it in from overseas. And that's a compelling case for our customers.
So if you can make it more cheaply and you're going to make more of it, are we going to see the impact at the petrol pump?
Well, I do hope so. I mean, if I can produce a more reliable, more cost-effective supply with a lower environmental footprint, and this investment will enable me to do that even more efficiently than I'm doing it today, then yes, I hope, well, it can't have a negative effect on petrol prices. I think the more important point, though, is it improves the reliability and sustainability and resilience of New Zealand's oil supply. Let's remember back in the 60s, this refinery came into existence because New Zealand was struggling to get oil supplies, and those oil supplies were very, very expensive. And the refinery actually helped to make supplies more resilient, more robust and cheaper. And the same goes for it today.
So is it going to make us less exposed, I guess, or vulnerable to fluctuations in the global oil price and the exchange rate?
Well, we are actually very much at Refining NZ a victim, if you like, of global oil prices ourselves and of the New Zealand dollar-US dollar exchange rate. I'm afraid that's a fact of reality that we all seem to be continue to expose that.
Now, you need shareholder approval to do this, don't you? So are you likely to get it?
Well, as you know, I'm on a whirlwind tour around New Zealand at the moment. We're in Whangarei on Monday, Auckland yesterday, Wellington today, Christchurch tomorrow. We're getting really, really good support from our ordinary shareholders. I've also been out talking to our cornerstone shareholders as well, who are also our customers, and there's even more value that flows through to them. $70 million of value every year will flow through to New Zealand Oil Refinery, and what that will do is help us to pay better dividends and probably will lead to the increase in the share price that we saw once this was announced. But there's a further $30 million of value that flows directly through to customers, and I'm hoping that makes a compelling case for them too.
Well, thank you very much for your time and for explaining that this morning. That is Ken Rivers, the Chief Executive of Refining New Zealand. So some big plans up there at Marsden Point, Corin and Petra.
Thank you very much, Nadine. It has just gone 6:30. You're with Breakfast. Let's go to Peter now for your news.